Hello, everybody. I wanted to give my thoughts about the passing of Tobe Hooper. Died yesterday, August 26th. He was 74 years old. And much like George Romero, this man changed the game. He changed cinema itself. And you know, his influence spreads so wide and so far, and I can't even begin to tell you how much influence he's had over so many people. And the movies that he's directed will last a lifetime. Things like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, which came out in 1974, and he made for less than $300,000. It's astounding. Whether it's The Funhouse, Poltergeist, Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, Life Force, Invaders from Mars, Salem's Lot. I mean, the list just grows and grows and grows. He is just a phenomenal director, and somebody who I heard was extremely kind-hearted, and somebody who just had the biggest open wide heart that you could possibly imagine, and he just cared for everybody. And you know, as fans of film like we all are, we don't forget these type of people. You know, you'll always remember these big actors and these big stars, and sometimes directors, they tend to not be remembered all the time. That's not the case with us. That's not the case. We're fans of film. We look at a director like a George Romero or a Tobe Hooper, and we say these guys are iconic. And they're iconic because they made their movies so damn enjoyable and so damn entertaining. And you felt them inside those movies. You felt that when you were watching a Tobe Hooper movie, it was a Tobe Hooper movie. You knew it was a Tobe Hooper movie. And that's the type of signature directing style that sometimes gets lost nowadays. It never got lost with Tobe Hooper. And, you know, it's never easy losing people that you consider heroes or icons, because you feel like, what are we gonna do now? We've lost this huge influential individual, and there's that hole and there's that gap that will never be filled in. And you're right, it won't be. Not anytime soon, if ever. But what we have are the movies. We have the movies. We have his commentaries. We have his interviews. We have things that we can hold on to and cherish for decades to come. And trust me, he is going to be, his spirit and his soul and his love of movies is going to carry through for generations to come. It's not likely that we're going to forget him anytime soon. And we shouldn't. For me, my favorite movie of his is Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. I love that sequel. And I love how it was completely different from anything that he'd ever done. And how he took chances and how he took risks and never did the same thing all the time. He was never formulaic. He was never somebody who, I think, even cared about the fame or the glory of, money. He cared about making movies for people, quality movies that people would enjoy. And that's the kind of spirit that I'm going to remember of the man. And, even if the only thing he ever did was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and that was it, that's iconic in and of itself. There's no horror movie in history practically that shocked as many people as that movie did. And he will always have a special place in every horror fan's heart, in every cinema fan's heart. He will always have a place. Because he's a fantastic, fantastic individual. And a fantastic, fantastic filmmaker. So, I also want to say one other thing, which really sort of saddens me a lot. Which is, if you really think about it, Jim Siedow is gone. Marilyn Burns is gone. You have Gunnar Hansen that's gone. You now have Tobe Hooper that's gone. A lot of the main players from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre are almost all of them are gone. And that's a very sad thing, to think that these people that you love and admire, they get older, they pass away, and it's a moment of realizing that, you can't control everything. You can't control everything, and sometimes fate is going to come these people's way, and that heaven is going to take them. But they are immortal, and they're immortal because these movies live on, and they will continue to live on for a lifetime, generations, decades. They are going to live on as long as we cherish these movies, and as long as we end up passing them on from person to person, from generation to generation, and continue to support their legacy. So tonight, what I will be doing to honor the great Tobe Hooper is I will be watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2, one of my favorites of his. I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to enjoy it. And I know from documentaries that Tobe Hooper was a huge fan of Dr. Pepper. And so I'm going to open this up. And Tobe, I salute you. And you, sir, are in heaven right now with people like George Romero, Lucio Fulci, Wes Craven, and many others. And I'm sure you're having a ball seeing your old friends. We will miss you. And may your legacy live on. Salute. So tell me what you guys are doing to celebrate Tobe Hooper And I hope that these films and Tobe Hooper's legacy live on forever. Take care, guys.